Good afternoon. My name is Scott Rutherford, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看今天的直击美股，我是主持人张舒，在纽约向您问好。周一美股收跌，我们看到美股市场是在英国退出欧盟之后连续2日的暴跌。大宗商品方面，今天原油是下跌了2.8%，但是黄金由于其作为避险资产是冲高到了2年来的新高。但是现在市场并没有如此简单，不是说简单的对黄金看多，或者说是股票看跌就能够盈利，因为市场依然是波动率非常的高，这也是给交易员制造机会的同时，也带来了非常多的压力。另外一方面，我们看到英国的退欧事件依然是在持续的发酵。今天标普是下降了英国的3A 主权评级，这代表着以这样子研究机构为首的标普，它并不看好英国未来的一个本币还有外币市场的这样一个回报率，并且我们看到在过去的2天，英国的股市也是因为英国退欧这样子的一个公投，蒸发了整整1000亿英镑的一个市值，所以说英国的这样子一个退欧的效应还在持续的发酵。好的，更多的消息，让我们来看一下今天交易员的独家分析。Hi Scott, your stocks traded lower as this Dow and also S&P breaking below the key technical level. And so how do you think about the market situation right now? And also, I'm curious that before Friday, how do your positions look like?
Well, you know, anytime you have a big binary event, like you had with the potential Brexit or Remain, you know, traders bring risk down. Like if you actively trade, same way like into an earnings report, I use options because you never know if it's going to be a great report and go up 40 points or miss and guide lower and go down. So I think most traders were thinking that they stay and we break out, but didn't take that much risk into it because, you know, we don't have to as regular traders. There were some funds out there. I'm sure some hedge funds that you're going to hear about that did horrible. You're going to hear about some performance issues because if we did break above that 2100, 2130 and went to new highs, you had to participate, otherwise you're lagging in performance. But as an active trader, you're just looking for good trades. You know, but what the market did is they just took the momentum out of the market. The trade changed. We're not above the 8-day, we're not above the 21-day. So if you were long on Thursday into Friday, you had to make a decision in the first hour. Am I married to this or am I going to get out of the way so I could then test levels and embrace the volatility versus being caught in it? If you look at the chart of the S&P, you'll see that here was the all-time highs. And it looked like, I know, Annabelle, you and I were talking last week on Wednesday-ish, that it looked like if they stayed, we were, you know, ready to break above this and get a nice move to above 2150. But it didn't happen. So on that move lower, okay, if you were a trader like me, okay, when this whole range got engulfed, okay, you had to get out of the way. So when we had that rally in early morning Friday, you could have sold it into 2050 and then you didn't have to take the pain of this. But for now, this whole upper range is engulfed. So now the longer we stay below, okay, the 200-day now, which we are now below, okay, the more conviction sellers can get. So at this point, you know, the oscillator is minus 60, so we're very oversold. So I wouldn't be short going home, but I still think that there's a chance, okay, that, you know, before we get some kind of bigger rally that we could retest this 1975 or maybe even retest 1950. Look what happened last time we broke. Boom. Last time we broke here. It was a big one, 4 days. So, you know, I don't think, you know, you get in too early and just make sure you know your size limits.
Okay, there were so many stocks that, you know, are very vulnerable or have weakness in it. So for the tech sector, for example, the Amazon, it used to have a best tape in this sector. So how do you think about these stocks like Amazon, Netflix, and Apple?
Well, it's the question is, can Amazon hold on by itself?
Okay.
And it's one of the few stocks that are still above the 50-day, but it lost its 8 and 21-day. So if you sell it when it breaks the 8 and 21-day, you could test it lower. You know, same thing goes with all the FANG names. Every FANG name that's under pressure, first things first is it has to break the 8 and 21-day. And if you sell it then you could test levels versus being caught in it. At this point, Amazon still kind of best in breed. Okay, it's above the 50-day. It's above, you know, it actually closed sort of well today. It's still above that big earnings gap, but it's now below the 8 and 21-day moving average. Okay, so the question is, does it stay below that? Because, you know, it could be vulnerable if the market goes lower. Because look what happened when Facebook broke its upper, you know, triangle. Remember we were talking about which way would Facebook break? Would it break above, you know, this 120 area and continue and go above highs, or would it break below? Well, this lost the 8 and 21-day at around 117. So if you were a momentum trader, this is where you could have got out, and then you didn't have to take all that pain. And if you get out here, okay, maybe now you could retest if it holds a 200-day. And this stock has been above the 200-day for a long time. So you want to test it there. So if you sold it here, you could maybe buy it back there. And lastly, like Netflix, look how long this has been below the 8 and 21-day. So you had a tactical rally here when it reclaimed it, and then once it lost the 200-day again, you get out of the way, and then that bear flag below 93, and now it's heading back to the lows of the year. So nothing technically looks great.
Okay, that's what we have to for today.
Yes, and just got to stay on your toes. Stay on your toes, be flexible, know your time horizon. If you have a 10, 15, 20-year time horizon and you put money into an S&P fund every month, keep doing it. Don't let everyone scare you out of the market, because if you get out of the market fully, sometimes you can never get back in.
市场恐慌正在回来，也希望您继续关注我们的节目。我们明天再见。